I quit photography. Hi guys, how you doing? My name is Michael Koss. I'm a photographer based out of Mississauga, Ontario, and the point of this channel is for us to learn and grow together as aspiring photographers. I quit photography at one point, actually. It's hard to believe with how much I love it right now, and I would argue that I never stopped really loving it, but there was a point after college where I was so dissatisfied. We created this collaborative project, me and a few other people. Unfortunately, I think we were just taking projects that I thought I should be taking, and it didn't work out, and I thought maybe it was just me not being passionate enough about photography to pursue it as a career. So I quit photography. I sold all my equipment, I took down my site, my channels, I lost friendships, and I lost confidence in myself. That I knew what I wanted, or that I would even know that I wanted it when it came along. But I'm back again, and I'm so grateful for it because it's given me something that fulfilled my life so much. I believe that there is having your family and your loved ones and your partner, and they fill holes. Those are holes that they fill, but there's another hole there that is your passion. What do you love to do? And photography's it for me. I think I always knew that. I was just a little misguided. Now I'm grateful because I was able to find my way back. But I'm making this video for the people that might be on that line right there, that are wondering, should I quit photography? The answer is, maybe not. So let's go through some of these questions and see if you should quit photography. Number one, check in with your motivators. Something that contributed largely to me coming back was content with these creators that I saw online, that I happened to come across, that really made a big deal for me. Andrew Kearns and his vlogs were really inspiring to me. The way he was documenting, the way even he would just do client work seemed nostalgic, and I loved that, and it inspired me so much to really ultimately do the lifestyle photography that I do now. But my point is that Kearns and a lot of these other content creators that exist today, that a lot of you guys are watching, and obviously I continue to watch today, were the motivators for me. And whenever I have a little bit of self-doubt, I check myself in to my motivators to see, do I still love photography? Does this content still get me juiced? What you need to ask yourself is, what are your motivators? What inspired you from the get-go to shoot? I want you to go back, revisit that, and then ask yourself again, should I continue taking photos? Number two, this is something I've talked about a couple of times now, but community. You need to surround yourself with creatives. I went through something that was very difficult for me. It hit me really hard, and it was hard for me to rebound back, to be motivated to do anything really. This was after I had already seen some of the vlogs. I had repurchased a camera and I was inspired, and then I went through something and it hit me. Odds are you've experienced something like this in the past, and it may have been when you were shooting, when you weren't shooting. It may have been before or after you started shooting, but the point is, when something like that happens, it hits you hard, and your mind just doesn't work properly. It tells you that you don't want to do anything. Now, I'm fortunate because an old friend of mine brought me out. There's one night where I was just super bummy, and he's like, you want to go out and take some photos? And I said, nah man, the last thing I want to do is go out and exert myself. But he dragged me out of my house, and I'm super fortunate for it because I ended up meeting a couple people, and that really introduced me to the community side of photography. And it was such an uplifting thing for me to see that there was a support system there just waiting. A group of people that love creating as much as I did, had different viewpoints that I could learn from, bounce ideas off of, and really just get really passionate and riled up over photography with. Funny enough, actually, I was at a 500 Pixels event recently, and the panelists often receive questions like, how do you stay inspired, motivated, what keeps you going? For the most part, revolved around community. Finding people that would constantly try to push their limits, and in turn, that would make you want to do the same. And there's nothing better than community for that. So if you're wondering, how do I find community? Well, it's not that hard actually. Facebook pages, meetup websites, Instagram groups and communities. that you can try and get involved in. There are meetups happening all the time. Go to those meetups and obviously go and take photos, but make a priority of yours to network and connect with people and kind of get in. But you want to find the people that are constantly going to meetups, follow them, and then try to get an understanding of who's creating the meetups. So that way you can follow them and you'll check out their stories or Instagram posts. You'll know when they're coming up, and you'll network, you'll connect, and you'll become friends entrenched in that community. Another question is, does the long term excite the shit out of you? Does imagining yourself in 5 years with a studio space and shooting for clients excite you? Does it juice you up? What about being paid by some airline company or resort to travel the world and experience different cultures and foods, etc.? Does that excite you? What about being backed by Canon, Sony, or Nikon to create anything you wanted, and they were gonna send you their top line equipment to create whatever you want, whatever you want? Does that excite you? What style of photography do you love, and what does the end game look like for that? Think of that. Does that excite you? If you were to sell your camera today, how would you feel about never taking a photo again? Maybe you're demotivated right now, and that could be for an infinite amount of reasons. But are you unhappy with photography, or are you unhappy with something in your life right now? Look, I don't know you. I can't pretend to understand your struggles, your hardships, your heartbreaks, your family dramas, what's going on at work. I don't know that, but that has to stay detached from your passions. The other thing you gotta ask yourself is, how long has it been since you've taken photos? Have you had your camera kind of sitting on a shelf for the last 4 or 5 months, a year, 2 years, because work got busy, or something happened at home, or you had a tough breakup? I strongly believe that you have to just give it a shot. You gotta pick up that camera, call up your old buddy, or don't. Go downtown, or find a landscape, or whatever you love to shoot. Spend one night next weekend, take some photos, and truly ask yourself, does it make you happy? And if the answer is no, that's okay. It's not be a photographer or you suck. It's be a photographer or find what it is you truly are passionate about. That's the video. I really appreciate the support I've been getting on the channel. It's early on. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate it. So I'm gonna keep creating content. And if you're watching this video here, definitely don't forget to like or subscribe. My name is Michael Costa, and I'm a photographer based out of Mississauga, Ontario, and I'll see you next time.